Well, good evening, Gooners. Welcome to the Gooner Booth. Uh, it never ends. Back into Premier League football tomorrow, away at Brighton. Tough game. It's not going to be an easy one. Yeah. Please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. Get involved in the chat. Wayne, good evening, sir. How are you?
Yeah, good evening, Tone. You are, matey?
Yeah.
Other than the daily stresses of life, mate, which I know you've got on your own yourself, it's usual stuff, mate. It's
Usual shit, mate. Yeah.
usual stuff. But yeah, good evening, matey. Hope you're doing well. Other than personal and work related stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Well, Sunday wasn't good for my blood pressure. That last 15 minutes, and I thought Chelsea played really well. To be fair, I don't know if you've managed to catch the highlights, Wayne, but
Yeah,
I
we,
thought
we
they
were quite poor, weren't we, for the second? We
we
just I
weren't
mean to allow
we
him in,
weren't
mate.
great. We weren't great, right? And it's worrying really because you're gonna be this. It goes to show how poor Tottenham were when we played them. That we've gone into that Chelsea game and there was no validity in our play. We look at Joe for a team that had a week off. We look knackered.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this is why. I mean, and there's been a lot of online. There's a lot of people sort of like slagging off Silva Mendy about it in midfield. Which I mean, we've said on this channel that we do recognise at times that he can disappear. But the thing is even with him in, he's played the most minutes in this team, Tone. And we are where we are with him in midfield, so he can't be that bad. Do you know what I mean? There's
Yeah.
obviously stuff that you can overanalyze his play and stuff like that, but it's not just an individual at times as well. It's play. I mean, as I say, I know Yacht did. What I see of him, I thought he was doing good touches. I think maybe it dropped off a little bit, and there's times when you think you can just be a little bit stronger, Yacht. But again, the problem is the moment you take him off, Tone, is the moment we relinquish control. We relinquish that guy who's still going to press. Whatever you want to say, if he's playing, he's having a dodgy touch all game long. What Gyökeres will give you is that constant closing down and threat. Obviously, putting a half-fit Havertz on the pitch for him, I don't think helped because I think obviously, as much as whatever you want to say about Yoki, he will carry on chasing. Well, Havertz is in and out of being fit enough to start a game, Tone. So that game has multiple factors as to why, and again, letting a 10-man Chelsea kind of control the ball for the back end of that game was piss poor, man. You lose Rice, I get it, and that's when you want to control in the midfield. I mean, that's why sometimes, people are obviously saying about with Ødegaard, and we've said on this channel again, and I will maintain that he will be your ideal guy to go to control the game, to try the free flowing football, to have like a Havertz and the Ezos and what I've said on previous streams. Ødegaard is your finisher. You'll get your man to control it when this is getting games like this, and that's who we did miss him in that instance. Doing the U shape, doing the horseshoe constantly in games has not been working. You need him to be more direct, and I think that's one game we needed him because you needed a bit more control, Tone, especially when in that second half to allow 10 men to do that to you. And my heart flipped about 20 times out of my body and then flipped back in again when that offside goal.
Yeah.
And the funny thing I want to comment before, because I know you got a few stuff to get through on the outside noise, but did you hit in commentary? I heard it because obviously I was in the stream. I had to watch it on my phone, sorting out the kiddies and stuff like that prior, so that's why I wasn't on the stream. So I was listening to Gary Neville. He sounded like he was making sex noises, Tone.
Yeah, I was just I was Joe. On Sunday at this time, mate, I was listening to the commentary because the last watch on we done, something happened in the game. I had no idea what was going on because I had the comment. So I actually listening to it, and Gary Neville is so.
He should not be allowed to comment on our football games anymore. I've said it numerous times. The guy is just a scum. He's a scumbag. Him and Jamie Carragher should be nowhere near comms when it's an Arsenal game. The problem is that Sky Sports are hiring these kind of people, and they're the guys that Why not get Alan Smith on there? Or just get someone who's not him. But everyone's lumping in. You've got Paul Scholes on their little adventure. It's another one. It's not on the overlap this time. It's on another one, and he's going, "Oh, no one should be awarded the Premier League because they're all crap." Well, if it's Man United, you scum, and you wouldn't be saying that, would you? If
Yeah.
Man United
Yeah.
was doing what we're doing and they're top of the league, you wouldn't be saying that. You know what I mean? And then, there's not enough Arsenal voices for me to really kind of start putting this stuff to bed.
I think Ian Wright and Martin Keown are the only ones that have sort of been
Ian
piping
Wright
up.
does, yeah. Martin Keown does on Talksport, and Martin Keown as well. And then Andy Goldstein, the twat, was digging him out, saying something about. And then he brought up. He brought up it was in a video, and he brought up that he was about his appearances when we were going unbeaten, when we went unbeaten, and stuff like that. And that's how he was digging Martin Keown out.
Yeah.
Like Andy Goldstein, you've not achieved anything in your life other than being a twat on Talksport, mate. Like, who are you? You've not been in a title-winning football team. Like, you're just a Man United supporting, like, you got blinkers on, mate. Like, who are you? You're just a radio presenter who talks about football and talks bollocks about football. So who are you to tell a player like Martin Keown, who's won like what 3 Premier League titles, numerous cups with his football club, with the Arsenal
Yeah.
that he's defending,
Yeah.
and you're mugging him off like that? It's the media, Tony. They're lumping all in. And as I say, if there's anyone, yourself including, anyone watching, go watch what George Graham said in the 91 season, 1991 season, and just listen to that again, because that's all you got. We had it then, but this time it's everywhere. This was just in the rags. I'm sure the older viewers who were watching, or older Gooners, Tone, would tell you that it was because all the papers are lining up in '89 for Anfield, for Liverpool. I think I might have said in the previous stream that they were constantly on Arsenal. We haven't got just newspapers now, Tone. We've got blogs, we've got shows, we've got talk shows, and everything is about Arsenal. They are obsessed because they do not want us to win it. And the moment we win it, that's when it will change. And this is vitally, we have to do it this year, Tone, because a lot of people need to be shut up.
Yeah. I mean, that old
Man
Adrian.
City don't get it with 130 odd charges, Tone. Man City
What's
do not
happening with
get
that?
any negative press whatsoever.
No. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you can win Man City. You've got your 130 charges. Beat Arsenal because they're pricks. We don't like Arsenal. Well,
Yeah.
look at Chelsea. Abramovich basically sports washed, bought everything up, brought the leagues. Perfectly okay for them to win it the way that Mourinho played football, and with all the unlimited funds they had. And City with all their charges and all financially doping. Both these teams, but they're great champions. Man United with Ferguson having referees in his pocket, where Fergie time would come on. You'd never get 6 minutes in the Premier League years ago, but Fergie did until they fucking scored or brought the game back.
Yeah.
Football has been, Premier League is constantly full of its own, and now we're getting mugged off because we can have a scruff, we can hold our own in a box. We're doing what people call the dark arts. Well, no, we didn't win fuck all with great
Well,
football. So
did
now
Mourinho
we're
do that?
playing football in a different way, Tone, and they're lumping in on us.
Did Mourinho do that, mate? Didn't he part the bus
Mourinho done
every
it all the
game?
time.
Had
No
the
one
best
said a
defensive
word.
record.
Mourinho was the
He was a
special one.
genius. He was a special
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
He played boring football, didn't he?
Yeah.
Didn't play exciting
Yeah.
football. So I
Tony
read
used
a
to lock
quote.
it up at 1-0, mate. That's what Mourinho used to do.
Yeah, let me fire some of the quotes out to you, dude. That's
Go
been
for it,
coming
mate.
out
Go
in the
on.
media. It's disgusting, really. Chris Sutton, former Chelsea striker. If they go on to clinch the title, Arsenal will be the ugliest Premier League champions. Ugliest. Peter Schmeichel, Arsenal bring an ugly brand of football to our game. I'm sorry, does everyone not have a corner? Does everyone not have the chance to score from a
Tony,
corner?
another thing as well.
Sorry, mate, you telling me Spurs play Crystal Palace on Thursday, and if they win 1-0 and it's from a header from a corner, do you think Spurs actually no, scrap it off, we don't want to score from corners because it's ugly? What the fuck is going on?
But Tone, the thing is as well that these people are saying we're playing ugly football. We've recently turned Leeds over. We've recently turned Tottenham over, right? And away from home, and we play ugly football. Like literally, we've turned Spurs away on both occasions. We've turned them over, home and away, right? There are games that you can list that we play some fantastic football. At the beginning of the year, we playing fantastic football. Mikel Arteta is getting done by the media in whatever tone, because like I've said on streams quite a while back, and I've said again, he's just having all different strings to his bow. The good football can come, but at times he plays with a handbrake on because he likes control. Yeah. So if he's got control of a game, how if I can score from a set piece, they've got to come at us. Then if they come at us, they're going to open up. That means we can open them up. So other teams decide to sit back. It's not just us; it's the way we play. Then the manager of the opposite team realizes that I can't come out against Arsenal because they're going to rip me up. So but like he's done as well. Back to Gary Neville tone. It was perfectly okay for him to say, look at Arsenal, they're getting bullied, they haven't got no backbone, and now we have got a backbone. It's the totally opposite now, and everyone's moaning that we've got that, and we've got the dark arts, and we're using this and that.
Well,
It's
Retro's made a very good point.
disgrace, mate.
Retro, good evening, buddy.
Retro, thanks for joining, matey.
He's put Big Sam and Pulis used to tell their players to rough up and bully us.
Yeah.
Media used to call us soft and man up, even when our players got their legs broke.
Thank you.
Exactly.
Now this is it. We've had our players have had their legs broken, and they were told to man up and get back up. Look, you're soft and whatever, but broken. And then our players go back to them grounds and get booed, but because they got their leg broke, they had the cheek to get their leg broken. But we don't break players' legs, Tom, do we?
Yeah. Jasper, mate, good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir. We're just having a rant, mate, but good evening.
Ugly football or nice, we don't care if we win. Before we used to play proper football and then get banged left, right, and centre. Yeah, you can't please everyone. Yeah, you can't.
You can't please those that don't want us to win, Jazz. But good evening, matey. But that's what
I think it's fair to say, Wayne, that there's an agenda at the moment, a massive agenda against us. And
it's kind of sickening, Tone. It's sickening to see because, I mean, again, at the end of the day, you can't expect other fans, and sorry, dude, to butt in. You can't expect them to love your football club. But you're like, this is just getting beyond a joke now.
Just to get on that for tomorrow's game, right? So that Fabian Herzler, if that's how you say his name, for Brighton, he's come out in his press conference today. When Arsenal have a corner and they are leading, sometimes they spend over 1 minute just to take a corner. Rules must be changed to stop Arsenal time wasting. So we're the only team in the Premier League.
We are the only team in the history of the Premier League, according to, as I say, this is what I'm saying. I mean, what's he achieved anyway as well? What he's lumping in, like he's just an unknown from Germany coming in, mate. Like, and he's now lumping in. Pep Guardiola said, I know more of your thoughts on it, but I'm not going to say. So they're asking him, you ain't got the balls to ask Pep Guardiola how 130 charges are going, but you're going to ask about set pieces and grappling in the box that is clearly aimed at Arsenal. Like, this is, it's constant, Tone. It's just that the hate is ridiculous, but we just got to embrace it because it means we're back. That's all you can look at the positive side of it. We are back because people hate us,
Yeah. Just Pennis put, let me give you an example. We like control and they criticise us. Barcelona play total football and they criticise them. That they play too high or their defence. Can't win, mate.
Yeah. There is no winning. The fact is, you shouldn't. I'm trying to learn to not write. It's just annoying. Sort of like you get people you don't expect bloody criticising and doing whatever, which annoys you. But at the end of the day, it's just shows, Tone, that we are getting to people now. We're not the banter club. And it's all well and good. I still love me, mate. I love Wenger. I still do. I still have a massive amount of respect for him. But the problem with an Arsene Wenger team where we were soft, we had a soft underbelly. We could play great football, but we could not hack it when it was put on us. And we were just, for years and years, we were told we were soft. We were, this and that, grow a pair, grow some cojones by, what's his name, George Troy Deeney. And
we don't go and get dominated now. No one likes it.
We don't get dominated. People that we're strong in the box, and we've got players that can stick up for themselves properly now, and we are thugs. We're the worst champions elect there is. Yeah, it's just a joke, mate. Absolute joke. But
Retro's put if you look at our corners that the Chelsea players were constantly holding our players, it's probably why we took so long. I saw United players doing it to the Everton players too. Yeah, mate, it's happening all over the Premier League. I'm sorry. That old Rippling situation, Wayne, as well. That Talksport talking about, it was debating it, going, the ref, Danny Murphy, the ref should start giving penalties for that or booking players. And then he was talking in general, though. He wasn't actually going at Arsenal. I actually do like Danny Murphy. He's very constructive with his opinion. Right, it's very broad. It's not attacking one.
Yeah. It's not a targeted thing. But
Adrian Dunn kept moving it back to Arsenal, going, no, Arsenal against Chelsea, they conceded at least 2 penalties.
I'll get kicked off of YouTube if I told you what I really thought of that.
He's an Arsenal hating knobhead. That's what I'm going to say on the guy.
That's why I stopped watching Drive Time because of him, because he's just a knob.
Yeah,
he doesn't deserve any airtime, and he doesn't deserve Arsenal fans to listen to him. He's a twat, basically.
So, but yeah,
I've chosen for years not to listen to the knob.
Yeah, Jazz Pen has put the reality is, if they don't say anything, that riles up fans. They don't get views, and the engagement goes up when you criticise. Yeah. Look,
of course it does, mate. That's all it is. Stay relevant, Tone.
Really good example, Jazz Pendy, on that, and I'll give you another example. Last night on the sports bar, Jamie O'Hara should be talking about how shit Tottenham are right now. Sorry, Alfie, we love you loads, mate, if you're tuning in. But he's sitting there going, Arsenal again they're scoring from 2 corners. He went, this is getting ridiculous now. Didn't Chelsea score from a corner?
Yeah.
There was, Chelsea.
They wouldn't have said anything if Chelsea won that game 2-1 by 2 corners, Tone. They wouldn't have said a word if it was the other way around.
Yeah. That's why I try Eza to help you. Thanks, mate. Yeah.
Thanks, Jazz. We appreciate it, mate. He had quite a few good touches on Sunday, didn't he, mate?
Oh, Joe, what that on that game, this is where I'm a little bit worried.
Yeah, we'll let the frustrations out on the game, Tone, now, because we've given enough airtime to tossers in the media.
Yeah, no, look, I think Joe, I hope we score from a corner tomorrow, by the way, just to wind them up,
just to wind Ursula up as well.
Yeah, exactly. Terrell, big up, buddy. How are you, mate?
Big up, buddy. How you doing, mate? Thanks for joining, my friend. Hope you're keeping well.
How are you feeling about the media, mate? You've been seeing the media. I think it's been a joke that we're
lumping in on us, mate. Lumping in on us.
But look, Joe, I think it was any other club, right? Well, I'll say this and we'll move on to the Chelsea game.
No, go on, mate. I've had enough waffle, mate.
If it was any other club, right? If it was, let's put it this way: if Chelsea beat us 3-2 or drew 2-2, right?
Yeah.
Gary Neville will be going, it's a genius. The genius tactic from the corners.
Look at this, and they'll be highlighting it for about 10-15 minutes straight.
Gary Neville was saying that Reece James, Joe, I can't really disagree because Reece James is a quality right back, and his delivery
if he was fully fit, Tone, for most of the season, he can be a worldie. Yeah.
He was going, his deliveries were fantastic. And I was like, when's the last time someone said Saka or Rice's deliveries are perfect, on point? That first goal, Saka's corner was unreal. Back post.
It was fantastic. A fantastic corner.
On the watch long, I said, how smart was that header from Gabriel? Yep.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's ball from a corner. The ball's going to back of the net. That's all that matters. Yeah. That's all that matters. Retro's put, I hope to see Norgard too. I'm glad he took off too many. Another horrid mistake guy will eventually cost us again. Yeah, he almost cost us in that game, by the way, as well. He had a little back pass. He
was struggling. Retro, you will see in my 11, mate. It all depends on Rice for me tomorrow, bud. But I get
look, I've got
quite important that Rice plays if he is fit, and I think Norgard should come in. That's my personal opinion.
So Rice is going to have a late fitness test, dude, ahead of tomorrow's game.
Yeah, which it will be a massive miss. It'd be a massive miss. I'd rather him miss the Mansfield if we can get him an injection or something, get him through the Brighton game. The Mansfield game, get Norgard and MLS in there. But listen, I know, mate, Subi, he's struggling at the moment. He's had his moments, and he's struggled the last month or so, and I think it's just fatigue as well, mate. He's played a lot of games, new team,
he's definitely
new league.
He's running into the ground, isn't he?
The problem is this is why this is my worry that with Moreno not being fit enough, that you can't rotate with a player like that who knows how to play. And even another midfielder of that kind of ilk. It has to be addressed in the summer, but there's MLS waiting there, guys, and he's just not trusting MLS. MLS can break through. He can, he's struggled at left back, but this guy's a midfielder, Tone. He should have a lot more minutes to ease the burden. Someone needs to ease the burden off of Supermendy because he's making silly mistakes that he doesn't.
On MLS, dude, I was Ben, who's been on the channel a couple of times. He was speaking to me today. He was like, I can't join tonight, so apologies. But he did say, he went, can we discuss MLS? Why has there been such a decline in MLS's performance? Look at last season, Wayne. Look how good he was. You're driving through the field.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? It is, mate.
What happened? What's happened to the guy?
Yeah, I don't know if it's confidence. He's got a contract. He was made to feel loved. Everyone who had a media love him. There's talent. The boy's talented, Tone. I just think his future lies in the midfield. And that's where in the summer it needs to be addressed. I still think we need another midfielder. But MLS is more than capable of being that left 8. He's not a holding 6. He's not that kind of player. But he is that. He can break the lines, that kind of Jack Wilshere type where he can squeeze through a gap and you're like, how did he do that? You've seen it. We've all seen it. There's a go early in the year we done it. I don't know if it's a Champions League or not, but this is what MLS's game is, Tone. He has dropped off. I think maybe what it is, Tone. I think as we've said quite a few streams ago, even the start of the season, I think the problem is with the boy is he was Calafiori's understudy. Calafiori weren't fit enough, so MLS was in, and Calafiori was rested, couldn't get back in or whatever. MLS was he got in there, and he was on top of his game. Pressure was off, right?
Yeah.
But now with Hincapié coming in, Calafiori for the first half of the season, at least till say beginning of January, he was fully fit for nigh on every game. So he was in the form as well, great form. So he couldn't get in there. And then Hincapié was chosen. So his confidence is more likely taking a massive hit. Like, why am I not playing it? He has to forge his path in this football club in the midfield, Tone. But the boss ain't giving him enough time, enough opportunities. I know the other game it was Calafiori again stitched him up because he was going to play in the middle of the park.
Yeah, I was looking forward to that. Which would have
been nice to see. Again, listen, bring some experience on Saturday, Sunday, whenever the Mansfield game is. Put him in the midfield with Norgard.
Question for you, Wayne: if Rice is unfit tomorrow, do you fire him in there?
I think the balance will be he's going to have to put Subamendi. I will put Norgard.
So go Norgard to Subamendi, but would you throw Skelly on later on in the game just to take off?
Definitely, he has to be definitely.
I think Zubi's in the red, mate. I don't think Zubi's going to. Zubi's
in the red zone. This is the problem you have. This is why my team would be that Zubi wouldn't start the match. I just don't think if Rice is fit that you can't put. I don't think a Norgard MLS midfield is going to make me feel confident tomorrow. As much as Zubi's in the red, he still knows what the manager wants. And I think it could be vitally important if Rice is not fit, then you need to get Norgard in there, Tone. You need to get Norgard in the 6, mopping it up, and give Subamendi a bit more freedom, and then MLS should come on sort of later on in the game. My team would have included Havertz, but I'm going to put I don't want to ruin it, Tone, but I think Trossard has struggled.
Let's hold that there, Wayne. Hold that where. Good segue. Let's get into the starting 11.
Go on in, because I'm trying to give.
Yeah, nice one. Sorry, Wayne, I interrupted you there, but yeah.
No, you don't have to interrupt because I'm trying to give away my starting 11 there, guys. But yeah, I think it kind of picks itself, Tone. Calafiori at this moment in time, I think obviously you don't drop your main starting 2. Hincapié for me. But listen, if Rice is fit, if there's a chance to get him through this game, I think he starts, and I think you've just got to take Zubi out of the firing line just for a game. Ødegaard, I think is a late fitness test, Tone, is it? I think he's not too sure about it.
From what I've seen in the news, Ødegaard is a huge doubt, knee issue status. So it's not really confirmed. So he could be in the squad. He may not be in the squad.
Havertz as well.
Havertz should be available.
He should be. I mean, listen. The problem. I would be putting Eze on there. What I want to do is I'm not going to have too much of a rant because we've had this in the summer. But I don't think I mean, Martinelli got Nito sent off, but has Trossard and Martinelli lit that left-hand side up at all? No,
they've not.
Eze has to get a chance there, Tone. He has to get a chance.
I think
he struggles in the 10 to impose himself, and this is the problem. And I think that's the problem we have with this club is that we do need that player. So he wants to get Eze to try and get more on the ball, but Eze is that floating left off the. I don't think he's that dominating number 10. To control and dictate the way the game plays. He had Walton last year. He's had other players that stepped up. Eze is your bang bang guy. He isn't your controller type. And he's playing him in a number 10 role to be a controller. Havertz can drop in and play the ball because he's played that role. But if he's fit enough, them two have to be playing. I was even tempted to maybe as much as I don't think it will be any better, but why not? If Martinelli and Trossard are out of form and you want Eza in the 10, why don't you try Madueke there? Because it can't be any worse than putting Trossard and Martinelli there at the moment because they're both out of form. They're not. Trossard has struggled big style since the turn of the year. You know,
Yeah.
he's your clutch guy, but I think he should. I think him and I said, yeah, I said Prime. Martinelli and Trossard have to be your clutch guys off the bench. They're not starters for me as a top level team. If you want to challenge consistently, they're not your starters in a football club challenging for the title. They have to be impact players, you know.
He hasn't played Eze on the left and Havertz in that 10 role. He hasn't tried that this season. So I think
I
that
think it unlocks a hell of a lot,
it
Tone.
does. He
Personally,
put
I
more
think it unlocks a
creativity
hell
in
of a
there.
lot.
And
I'd
Havertz
like to be
seems to have a
proven
link
wrong,
with.
Tone. I'd like to be proven wrong. You know, I've not been proven anything because he's not doing it. So
Yeah, I think the problem with Eze, right? He performed against Tottenham, then was absolutely woeful against Chelsea. He's got
Chelsea,
no consistency about him, and I
yeah.
can see you have to understand Arteta's frustrations with the guy because I think
We haven't paid
If
65
Odegaard's
million for him to
fit,
turn up against Tottenham, Tone, have we, mate? We want him to turn up for other teams, don't we?
yeah, yeah. But I think the problem is you had space with Tottenham, you had space in that area to
Yeah.
dictate. Same with York. York had the space. I feel like when there's no space, they struggle a lot.
Yeah.
I think, but Havertz is key to low blocks for me because he does drag
Yeah.
defenders around, and that gives that space for York to be played in behind. Now, tomorrow I would play Havertz if he's fully fit, just because
If there's a chance, Tony, he has to start. You know,
there's a
definitely,
bit more
mate.
fluidity, isn't there,
Yeah,
with Havertz and York? We've seen that they both know where they've got that telepathy. Oh, I can't even say that. Telepathy.
telepathic. Yeah,
There you go. That telepathic. Can't speak tonight. Like connection that was natural as well when they played
yeah.
in that Champions League game. That even against when he come in against Leeds, there was a connection there, wasn't there?
Yeah, this
I
is what I'm saying. That's what he plays with, Tone. That's what he's always liked to do. Havertz. He's not a sole number 9. You can of
yeah,
course play him there, Tone. He can do a fantastic job. But he's not an out and out sole number 9. He likes to drift. He likes to drift behind the main man to have someone to play off. And Yok is the ideal player for him. You know, I don't
yeah,
think. I think at the start of the year he would have, if Havertz was fit, like I've already said, that he would have swapped between. But them two can be. He needs to stay fit, Havertz, because I think he's vitally important if we want to go all the way in these competitions. You know, to get some silverware properly over the line, we need them kind of players. You know.
yeah, yeah. Evening, Charles. How are you, mate?
Evening, Charles.
Hey, Tony Wayne. How are you? Wouldn't say Eze was poor at Chelsea, but yes, poor compared to Tottenham game. Well, he scored an hat-trick. No, he didn't score an hat-trick. He scored 2 goals, and York scored 2 goals. But yeah, look, I get what you're saying. But yeah, but he wasn't great against Chelsea for me in terms of we needed someone to get hold of the game, right? And whenever the ball went long, it was coming straight back. When we couldn't keep the ball, you want your number 10, your playmaker, to be able to help you manage that game. And I must admit, as much as we criticise Odegaard, he's very good at getting the ball, and we keep the ball with him. Yes, we go around shoehorn, but he's dictating play. Whereas Eze, I think, needs to do a little bit more of that.
That's the thing he's trying to consistently do at the 10. The worrying thing I would say as well is that Thomas Tuchel as well was asked about Eze in the 10. Some of the recent games, a while back, back into last year. Sorry, guys, and he was saying as well, like some worrying comments saying that there's certain things and aspects in the 10 that he's not really got. And I have to say that's the thing. As much as I've always said it, because I just think the 10 role in the way it is interpreted isn't in the skill set of Eza. Sorry. With a Havertz has played in the midfield. Havertz was signed as a left 8 Tone, right? He was signed as that kind of player. It wasn't compatible with like an Eddie Nketiah. Jesus wasn't fit enough, so Arteta defaulted to him as the false 9, number 9, and it
Yeah,
worked. But he needs to be given a role where he will be able to pick that ball up. He can do some of the stuff that Odegaard can do, but he is a goal scoring number 10. And that's why I've always been for the Havertz. I know we've had Dave on the show. He wasn't overly impressed with his Wade packet. and saying obviously, you know, look, he can be like Marmite for a few people, but I just think that him in the 10 behind a proper striker who is going to do what you want a striker to do in York, that's where his strength will lie, Tone. And that's why I just, for my own personal thing, for me to not get mugged off on my own channel, I think you know, Eze on the left needs to happen, and Havertz behind York. Simple.
Yeah,
Let's
Charles has
see.
put,
Prove me wrong. Prove that I'm talking bollocks, and I'll stop going on about it.
mate, you always talk bollocks. Anyway,
Whatever.
Charles has put 9 finals, eh? All will have all will all will have a role to play. Some moments Eza, some moments Havertz, some moments
Yep.
Odegaard, but Havertz and Odegaard have to come in the team first.
No, 100%, mate.
Yeah.
Exactly. Shake off the
Yeah.
injury, shake off any kind of confidence. I think for Erdegaard's been confidence really, Tone, as well. He hasn't
Yeah.
been top of his game for 18 months to 2 years. But
Yeah.
I know he wants to get to the World Cup. But why don't you help us get over the line?
Yeah, yeah, it
and
needs
then
to
you can
help us
worry
out
about your
first.
World Cup, mate.
What-
You know.
Do you not think there's temptation from Arteta to throw Saka back in that number 10 role?
I was thinking that. I was contemplating it. It's, as you know, Tuesday nights are quite a busy night for me. I'm back and forth, and it's even
Yeah.
worse today because it was in a different place. So I've had to drop one kid here, drop another one off, go back to that place, get that kid, and then come back again,
No, that
get the
is,
other
mate.
kid.
No, that
It's
is.
a busy game. So coming up to sort of like think about the starting
The reason
11,
why I asked you
I
that
would
question,
consider
mate,
it. Tone. Madueke on the right, Tone.
yeah. The reason
Yeah.
why I asked you that, because did you notice Madueke didn't come on at all against Chelsea, right?
Madueke,
So,
you need to use
do you think that was
him at some
tactical
point.
from Martel?
Let's hope so, Tone. He knows he's going to play in the FA Cup. Listen, if Havertz isn't fully fit and deemed not fully fit to start the game, I would seriously look at it and go, okay, Trossard and Martinelli right now in this day. Other than I would start them at Mansfield. They, in my opinion, should start on the bench. I've put Martinelli on because again, it was just thinking about it. I'm trying to guess Arteta, but if I'm going to change it and I'll make a live on air change. I would not be adverse to an Eze, Saka, and Madueke behind York, especially if Havertz isn't obviously deemed not fit enough to start it, Tone. Or a risk to start, you know, because Erdegaard's definitely. I think Erdegaard won't make it. So,
Does Jesus not get a look in for this game?
I'd say I don't think in a Premier League town against Brighton, I'm not overly confident, mate, with him physically being up to it. In my opinion. Listen, if it's a case, if he wants to take a risk and put him up top as opposed to Gyökeres, that's up to him if he feels that's a risk worth taking because you lose your intensity in the press when Yock's not on the pitch. That is blatantly obvious. I just think Jesus should be our cup guy. You know, he should also. I think he'll be vital in the Champions League. It's a different pace, a different level. It's just too intense for me, and I think it get the intensity of it when the game's done, like a Leeds and whatever. Jesus can look like a world beater, but he struggled when he started for me, Tone. But if he's thinking that way, then you can give it a go. It could be a bit risky, but yeah, I think what Yock does, the work he does, is a lot has to be appreciated as well as yes, he's not a 30, 40 goal scoring striker, but you know he works hard and does help to lead the press. That's you know and gain control. So would you kind of lose that with Jesus? But maybe it might give Yock a rest. You know.
I'm just thinking of that. I know it was only against Wigan, but that tactic that Arteta tried where everyone sort of inverted round in a big circle. You had Martinelli that was playing up front at certain times. You had Saka in the 10, Madueke, and they was overlapping each other, and it was like it caused chaos. And I'm just thinking
Martinelli and Jesus look better together, Tony. It's
because they swap me.
Perfect balance.
And I do think Martinelli's got credentials in centre forward, and I know I keep saying it, and I'm gonna keep saying it because every time he goes into that role,
there, Tony, but I think that's his best position, mate.
I don't think he's great on the wing. I think he's lost on the wing. I really do because he's got.
He can't take people on, Tony. I told you, he runs off the shoulder of players, and what do you do as a centre forward? You run off the shoulder.
Yeah,
I can listen. If he does that, I wouldn't be averse to that, especially for the first 45 minutes, to kind of throw Brighton a different one because I think, you know, Gyökeres is, as I say, I still rate the guy. I think in terms of what he does is he's not. We can go on. I'm done to bore people who's watched and know my faults on Gyökeres, but if there's an alternative, Tone, I would say that could be the alternative he'll go with. and have them,
Yeah,
because obviously Jesus would go to the left, Martinelli in the front. It could, it could be a tactic to use, Tony, especially to keep Yock fresh as well, because he does a lot of work, mate. Gets through a lot of
he
work.
does. He does. Charles has put Brighton will not act like Chelsea in the last 10 minutes. Their moments
Yeah.
will be much earlier, I feel. By the way, never came around seeing your thoughts on the Champions League draw on streams. What do you think? Go on, man.
Oh,
We did discuss it, didn't we? The
yeah,
preview to
yeah.
the Chelsea game, we discussed it.
Yeah, yeah. We'll do it again, Charles, and we'll answer that for you, mate. For me, listen, it's a good chance, and this is where players like a Martinelli, where Jesus, I think that's where you're going to get him in the Champions League. I think it's quite favourable, but every game you play, there's not easy. It's like the Premier League. You can look at Brighton; they've not been as good as last year, but they can still be dangerous at home. The home crowds behind them. No game that you play is going to be easy. It's a more, shall we say, a more favourable side of the draw.
Yeah,
Yes, I'm happy with it, but every game I take it game by game. It's going to sound cliche, mate, but I will still say I stick to that. You have to take it game by game. You can't say we're going to turn Bayer Leverkusen over. It's just best to stay on our side of the draw, which we've got and we deserved
we've
for
got the
winning that
best
eight
side.
out of eight.
We've got the best side
Yeah,
of the group.
yeah. It's up to us, Charles. That's what I'm trying to get at, mate. I'm trying to do the long way around. It's up to the club. But players like Jesus and Martinelli, Tone, and also Trossard in Champions League level, that's where it's fighting important. Where players they can make the difference
Yeah,
against that side of the, you know what I mean?
our,
When it comes to the
our
crunch,
playing
they're
style, Wayne.
continental players.
Our playing style to the Champions League is gives us every
It's
chance
because
in the
we
world.
got we got the space tone, and it's totally different, isn't it, mate? So it's a
Yeah.
different competition, and that's why I say to you, Jesus for me is a cup and a Champions League player.
Does is Nkapé cup tied for Bayer Leverkusen? He would be,
No,
wouldn't he?
what it is, they can't enforce it apparently. No club can enforce anymore that a player can't play against his team. As I say, this deal, which is confusing a hell of a lot of Arsenal fans, and I know a few of our regulars, it has confused them as well. But it is practically Tone a done deal. But it's it's a loan deal with an obligation, which means we have to buy him. And we can, I think, as well, Bayer Leverkusen can force us to pay the money, or we can force Bayer Leverkusen to take the deal. But basically, no one can, unless something happens drastic, it will go through. So I
Yeah.
don't think them laws will apply, is what I'm getting at, mate. I think you can
Bit
play.
of money laundering for our owners.
Well, you can call it that. I mean, listen, I mean, it's basically just it's defaulting money. It's like what I do when I do a Klarna buy in free. If you go to Klarna, you buy something, but you go, Klarna, I want to buy it in 9 months' time. Here you go, sort of thing, and that's what it is. I'll buy, to buy now, pay later, and that's what they've done. That's effectively what they've done with Bayer Leverkusen, mate.
We do that with most of our deals, don't we? Really, to be
We've done
fair.
it with Raya. I mean, obviously, a lot of these deals are, which I mean, years ago when me and you used to sit there over each other's house, well, we'd be around mine with a PC and we're playing Champ Manager, spending 20 million to buy Alan Shearer for Hull City, banging goals in for them. You used to just think,
Those were
yeah,
the
there's
days.
20 mil, job done. They obviously nowadays the transfers are so complex because teams do it in you might buy a player for 60 million, but you pay the club 15 million a year for that player, and you spread
Yeah.
it over the course of his contract. It is quite a shocker, but to find out. But yeah, that's the clubs do it all the time, and we've done it several times now, mate.
Sherelle, good evening, mate. Welcome back.
Hello, mate. Nice to see you, Sharif. Thanks for joining, dude.
Evening, lads. Really missed the show, but pray we get over the line and get to the international break, having won the League Cup and still top of the league, mate. Yes, definitely. That
It's the
momentum would
dream. It's the
be.
dream, Sharif. As I say, it's one game at a time, but we have to. That League Cup is vital for the rest of the season, so.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Charles. But my question was, with Man City's side of the draw versus our side, will it affect the running?
I think it
Well,
will affect
hopefully.
Man. Hopefully, it will affect Man
They've got
City, mate.
Madrid. They might have Bayern
Yeah.
Munich. Yeah, I think there's every chance it could because I think
Listen,
we've got a
mate,
better
go to
squad
go
than
to
City.
Bayern, Tone, win 3-0, take it back home. You can have a bit, while they've got high intensity games. Yeah, Charles, I think it will affect City more than us, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, well, if we still got, there's no mugs in the Champions League. Even Bodo Glimt away from home is not an easy game.
No,
They've beaten City 3-0, and I think they in the playoffs they smashed. Who is it they beat? quite comfortably as well. Can you
Oh
remember?
Jesus, yeah, I can't remember.
Let us know in the
God.
chat, guys.
Yeah,
But they've
I
been
know it's
comfortable at home.
they decide not to be. They might have the name. You might who the hell are they? But they've come up and they've improved. So there's no team in this Champions League, tone that you can say is an easy one. It's an easier.
Yeah,
Instead
on
of
paper, it's an easier draw.
on easier, it's paid. You're not sort of like playing them kind of teams. But yeah, I get what you're saying, Charles. Yeah, I think it will be much tougher for City, but we need them to stay in this competition and play the hard teams for as long as possible to put them off their stride in the league, definitely. And obviously
Cool.
shut them up in the League Cup final time. That's what we need to do.
Oh, honestly,
Vengeance, mate.
that is such a big game,
Vengeance for the 3-0.
Yeah, I think the Etihad game as well. I think unfortunately the league's going to come down to the Etihad game at the Etihad, and I think we need to go there with a cushion of at least 5 points because
Yeah,
it means a draw. It means City have to come at us, and that plays into our hands,
yeah.
because we'll pick them off. I think we're good enough to pick them off.
They're not the City of old, mate. They might have Rodri back, but they're not the City of old, and you can get at them, and that's the question. If what is he going to do, and what's the tactics? So it's going to be a good tactical battle, and I think that's the problem. What I'm worried about, Tone, is that if is Mikel going to kind of the team he's going to play for the League Cup, is he going to try to not expose what his plan would be for the league game, in a sense, if you know what I mean? Show his card and how to play, so that then Pep Guardiola knows how to play him at the Etihad. That's my only worry. But if we're lifting silverware, I'll worry about it afterwards.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough game. I think back on tomorrow's game, Wayne. What are your thoughts on it? I mean, we're unbeaten in 5. We've won 2, draw. We've won our last 3 and drawn 2. Away at Brighton, with 4th of Jan. Last time we played him was 1-1 at their ground. 6th of April 20 was the last time we beat him there 3-0, which was that goal from Havertz, and Trossard got on the score sheet. How you feeling about this game tomorrow? Because I think Brighton they're not a team of last couple of seasons. They've been a little bit up and down. They're a mid-table team. They're not. I don't think they're as dangerous as they were. But I think their back line, they're very good at frustrating. What's that guy's name? What's his name? Well, I'll get it in a minute.
Van Heck. Yeah, I know you're talking
Van
about.
Heck. They're a bunch of wind-ups. And you know what? Dunk isn't no fool either. He's not. So all this set-piece stuff, that Brighton are going to be up for the set. Anytime we get a corner now, they're going to be pumped up to defend it. So I'm not saying we do rely on it, but it's just a really good piece of our weaponry to get a goal. So I think in open play we've got enough to punish them, right? But it all depends on how Brighton play. What I will say to the Premier League, if you're going to low block Arsenal, then expect us to try and get goals from set pieces. Why wouldn't we? Shreve's put that Chelsea game first half was so infuriating. The amount of counters we ruined to put the game to bed, which is why I'm worried for Arsenal. The defense cannot bow us out 24/7. Attackers need to step up. Yeah, Raya bowed us out 3 times in that game.
There was a couple of phenomenal challenges from like a Gabby and Saliba. Listen, mate, 100%. Yeah.
He's put, if Arteta is brave, the only way to beat City is have a go at them. If you sit back, they will hurt you. Well, look at the Emirates. They sat back and was like, come and attack us, and Haaland scored on the break. So I think Arteta is going to be really cautious of how he approaches it. And I think Wayne's right. He's going to be really careful not to give him Arteta his full hand in that final. I reckon that final is going to be quite cagey, to be fair. I don't think either team's going to go for it. Trees put Brighton are a meaty team. If we are serious, we should be beaten. Putting 3 past them. Real title winners put 3 past them and keep the clean sheet. Yeah, we do. Look, you go away from them, do your business. My only problem I've got is the team look a little bit jaded to me. Against Chelsea, they look really jaded. Like, we've got a midweek game. My worry is, the tempo needs to be high. We need to start quick. Yes, we got the goal at Chelsea, but then we conceded straight away. And we're shipping goals at the moment, Wayne. And I'm actually that's one thing that's concerning me.
I can't stand it at the moment, Tone. I don't like it. Don't like it at all, mate.
Look at the Tottenham game. And we went on to win 4-1, but we scored, and then Tottenham scored, 30 seconds straight after.
Yep.
Chelsea, you've gone 1-0 up, half an hour in the game, see it out to half time, regroup, come back out, didn't do it. Chelsea score, and we're back to square one. Same with Brighton. If we get a goal in, not sit in, but sort of manage the game a little bit. We're not managing games at the moment. We're not getting hold of the ball. We're not dictating play. And I think this is where Eza or even Zubimendi or Rice need to step up a little bit more now and just take games by the scruff of the neck. And we ain't been doing that. Chelsea dominated us. That's one thing I can't argue with. Chelsea dominated us at home.
Yeah, no, definitely, mate. I mean, and this is where, this is exactly what Cherie's saying, that we, a team like Brighton, you should be beating 3-0, and you should be.
Yeah.
We can't be bailed out by a goalkeeper and centre halves, at this moment in time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Cherie's put bench Subi, put Norgard and Skelly in midfield. The problem with Arsenal is that midfield is running on fumes. Mikel needs to do better. Yeah, we said at the beginning of the show, mate. I do think that I think Skelly should get a chance. I wouldn't play him from the start, but I would start throwing him in midfield. If you're not going to use him at left back, because Calafiori's on the bench waiting to go.
Calafiori's back, and Capier's your main starter, 100% time.
Throw Skelly in there. That's his trade. He's traded a midfielder. If he goes in there and he's shit, that's on him. But I didn't go, okay, well, you had your chance, mate, and you ain't been good enough. But he hasn't been given any minutes.
This is where Mikel's done right. The thing is as well, Tone, is listen, I mean, we're not going to be bashing Mikel, but what Cherie's saying, and you have to agree with it, is that the manager is at fault for when players are not coming in. Like, as I say, Eza was kicked out, and now it's like, well, you've been fantastic against Tottenham, do it again in Chelsea, and he was average. Madueke again can't get a look in yet. Trossard starting. Martinelli's coming off the bench now. Martinelli calls Neto to have a sending off, but again, did it change the game in our favour? Other than it might, I've got 10 men, but they had the ascendancy. It's like they had the extra man again. We didn't get control. We had the extra man, and what I could watch of it when I was trying to, do multiple things and trying to concentrate on the game, I thought, we've done this what we had at Stamford Bridge. We have the extra man. And Arsenal Football Club, throughout my time of watching it in 34 years, right? And what I can remember, sorry guys, I'd say more so in about 30 years, remembering one of about 7. But control, when you have a man up, is fundamental to anything. We used to be the opposite, yeah. We'd have 10 men and we'd play phenomenal. But when it was the other team had it, we'd control the game, shut it off, and you think, game's done. I don't think that now, Tom.
No.
Stamford Bridge. I don't think it's advantage Arsenal. When it was us younger and other Arsenal teams, I thought this is advantage us now. We'll take control, see the game out. And that's on the manager in terms of a certain control. Is there enough players that are picking that ball up and going for it? Why did Chelsea have that ball? And they made more. We had the stats read 55 passes to Arsenal, 112 to Chelsea, or whatever. They're down to 10 men, Tone.
Yeah.
We are challenging and chasing a fucking title, right? And we are chasing the ball with a man extra at our own ground. That's not acceptable for me. But this is where the manager's he's got to rotate. Like, as well, Madueke might be average, but you have to coax a fucking performance out of him. Miles Lewis-Skelly ain't going to come in that team with 100, confidence sky high, because he's not played him in the middle of the park. But that's his natural position. Norgard's had 30, 50, maybe what did he come on for Rice to 20 minutes? So now he's had 50, 60 minutes of Premier League football this year. That's all that guy's had.
And we're
He's
an
experienced Premier League player in March and hasn't played. He needs more time. If you want these players to come in. And as you said, Tone, Zubi and Rice are running on red, and we've still got 2 games in the Champions League. We've got a League Cup final. We've got still in the FA Cup, and we've got 9 cup finals to get over the line and finally win the bloody Premier League after 22 years. You've got your best 2 midfielders. You're running them into the ground. You got to rotate them, Tone, and you got to do it effectively. You got to find a way to rest both of them, consistently, mate. The attack, you don't need to. The problem with us as well is, players are not standing up. You've had Eza and Yok turn up in a North London derby, but we haven't had players consistently turn up and bang goals in. Arsenal teams are winning the league in the past. If you had Robert Pires was off the ball, Lundberg would do it. If Henry weren't doing it, Bergkamp would do it. Wiltor would come off the bench and nick a goal. Canu would do it. Do you know what I mean? We had players. We had players in the attack that would pick the slack up from the previous attackers. Who has stood up yet? Saka's confidence is shot. Geese is on 300 plus. We love him. He loves the club. He's the star boy. But we need more from him, Tone, now. It's the season where you need to stand up and you need to be ripping teams a new one and banging the goals, and we know you can. There's players that need to still step up in that attack, and that's one thing you can't argue, mate. Midfield can be an issue, but the attack also needs to ease the pressure on those further back.
Yeah, Cherise put, look at all the games points were dropped. Brentford, Wolves, Chelsea, second half. The midfield became non-existent. They cannot control a game. I'm sorry, but in the summer, bid for Anderson and Wallen. Yeah, I'd take Anderson. Yeah.
One of them two, mate, has to. I think, definitely, in my opinion, has to come in the summer.
I think Anderson over Wallen if you're giving me a choice. But yeah,
if you're giving me a choice, I like Anderson. Yeah,
and I do think now that we're at the time now where I think maybe Trossard's going to move on. Martinelli will move on. So we go and get a top world-class left winger to help Saka out.
Yep.
Oh, Charles has put, Wayne, why are you leaving poor old Tony alone in the streams? We can't do it without Bergkamp, eh?
Yeah, which one? Well, to be honest, Tony's faster than me. He's got a bit of belly on, so I'm taking that as a big compliment. You're calling me Bergkamp there, Charles. I appreciate it because he's one of my favourite. I'm not quite as quick as Omri. Yeah, I know, mate. Sundays are quite awkward. Tomorrow night, guys, please tune in. I will be there. I might be a little bit late because I've got a booking that I'm going to try to get him out of the house as quick as I can. He's just having a look something in the house. But I will be on to occupy Tony. If Tony can just hold the fort for me for the first 15, 30 minutes, but I will be on. But yeah, he's doing a stellar job. I do apologise. Sundays are quite awkward, and it's the only time I can spend time with the family because I'm working. Or last week I was ill for most of the time, so they didn't really get to spend time with me. So it's kind of tough to support the Arsenal, do the stream, and yeah, keep the missus and the kids happy. So I'm trying to balance it, work-life balance and extracurricular activities like this channel as well. But thanks, I appreciate it, Charles. I will be occupied. I will be on these streams tomorrow, mate.
Omri's on his own, mate.
Omri's on his own he's holding the fort. Yeah.
Cherise put, no, in Arsenal, you are going to get Bacola and you'll be forced to be happy. And come March, we're talking about a chances he's missing. Yeah, I don't rate Bacola.
I don't. Everybody who are calling themselves tacticos online are talking about Barcola. I don't rate him. No. If you're going to give me Elise and put him on the left-hand side, or have him link up with Eza and Saka, then yeah, I could consider that. Elise's not really a left winger. I know that, guys. It is a tough one. I would allow if he could sort his attitude out. He's a phenomenal talent. But again, it's that output as well. So it's a tough one, Tone, but it's output because again, we'll be looking at Martinelli and everyone go, "Oh, look at Martinelli, he's not quite there." Barcola will be the same, Yeah. It's like Anthony Gordon. They're talking about Anthony Gordon from
I think we're going for him. And Tonali. I think him and Tonali we've been linked with.
We have been linked with both. But listen, they'll be good players. Is Gordon better than a Martinelli? That's debatable, but that's what you got to look at. I mean, listen, we have to go for it now, Tone. There's a few, we are two or three world class players away from having a team that's complete. That's without argument. Everyone can agree, I think.
Yeah, Charles is picking on Tottenham. Also, what's your thoughts on Tottenham? Did we break them after North London derby? They going down or not? I think at the moment, I think they've got a bit of a cushion. I mean, they are hanging on by the skin of their teeth, but I think that they've got a little bit of a lifeline with the midweek fixtures, right? And hear me out. You got Forest who go away to City, right? Let's be honest, Forest ain't going to get a lot yet. Let's be honest. You've got West Ham who go away to Fulham, I believe it is. And then Tottenham play Crystal Palace on the Thursday at home. The only thing I would say, the pressure's going to be on them if West Ham or Nottingham Forest pick up points, right? But look, if they don't win against Crystal Palace, then I think they're in trouble. I think they're bang in trouble. The only thing I think the only thing that you could probably say that I think they will stay up, by the way, because I think West Ham, Burnley, Wolves, even Forest haven't been that great. So Joe, as much as everyone's going, the title, the league shit this year, with because we're challenging for the title, it's all of a sudden shit this year. But I do think, from a neutral point of view, that relegation battle is quite tasty. Because you can't,
Yeah,
I can't call it. I can't tell you who's going to go down. I think Wolves will go down. I think there's too much of a gap to make up there. I think Burnley just aren't good enough, and they're making their living off of parachuting backwards and forwards to the Premier League. That's why I don't buy anyone. But it's that third spot, Wayne. If you've got who's going to go down between Forest, West Ham, and Tottenham, you're even Palace. Palace in the mix a little bit, and
Palace
they're
they're
creeping
kind
down
of
a little bit.
they're dragging their heels. Palace have been struggling.
So
They've been struggling. Yeah.
I think if Palace beats Tottenham, Palace are safe, and Tottenham are right in the mix of things, and they've not got some easy fixtures coming up. Tottenham as well.
Yeah.
I think West Ham are playing good football. They got battered by Liverpool, but they're playing good football to the point where they probably could nick something in games. So, but yeah, I couldn't call it, Charles. I generally think that it's going to be an interesting watch. If you're Alfie, you're nervous because it isn't looking great, right? Excuse me. But yeah, I think from a neutral, it's quite entertaining. I mean, just like the title race between us and City, the fact that we've dropped points and people calling us bottle jobs. Probably from a neutral, the title race is probably now entertaining. But yeah, Cherie's put, we already have misfiring attackers and people want to add Bacola to this attack. He's Tacticos don't love the club where Bacola misses a one-on-one at Etihad to win us the game. That's when you will know. Yeah, I don't rate him. I'd be gutted if he signed Bacola and get rid of Martinelli because I don't think there's much of a difference in terms of quality.
The thing is that Martinelli's got the attitude. I mean, the problem you have, Tone, again, is obviously how you're going to approach sort of your Odegaard in the summer. Is Havertz your number 10? So then do we buy another striker to compete with Gyökeres because we want to put Havertz there? You got one year to come back.
I wouldn't pay 100 million for Alvarez. That's one thing I wouldn't do.
No. I think that's too much. There's this. I like the sound of this. I like the sound, and I've seen the guy. What's his name? Esposito, I think it is. P.O. Esposito. If I've butchered that, guys, I apologise. He's the Inter Milan guy. He came on against us. Was given Mosquera go, which I said in a previous stream. He's
he went bad.
He's one to watch out for. So what it is, Tony, is I think you should get a striker who, say he's like 21, and you can work with him, and then like a Sesko was going to be like. Do that at a decent price, and then you got Gyökeres there, and obviously you'll have Havertz as a 10/spare striker. You've moved Jesus on, you've moved Trossard on. Martinelli can challenge still for this club and be that impact player and play in certain games. But I think that level needs to rise now, Tone, and that's the player who I can't quite put my name on it. I don't think it's Barcola personally.
No.
Rodrigo, he just wants the big money. He just wants the big money in Qatar, I think, Tone. I don't think he's kind of if he had any serious inkling, he should have left in the summer and he should have forced it out. But he's not. He's going to get the money and then watch him go to Saudi Arabia or something, mate. So yeah, it's one of them really, mate. It's that's vitally important this summer to get a player in of Saka level who's going to start every game on that left. Because I mean, listen, Trossard has started the season well, and I've been impressed with him. I just think he's now going back to the seat, like he does that. He flies out the trap, and then it's like last year. His form dips. His form's dipping. Mikel's got to put him out of the team now, and that's where you have to get your number 10 sorted, so you can put Eza on the left because that's the only solution to get the best out of, to get a tune out of Eza for the rest of the season.
Yeah, he's so inconsistent, isn't he, right now?
Yeah.
Charles has put FYI, the ref is Chris Kavanagh, the same guy who sent off Declan Rice last season. They're
trying their best, PGMO, Charles. They're trying their best, mate.
Do you know what, Wayne? I'm going to put a bet on this. This in the chat, right? You heard it first. I bet you any money tomorrow, the ref will give them a penalty for any grippling in the box. You heard it here first. Just because of all the noise that's coming out from the media, you watch how easy that ref will be influenced tomorrow with decisions against us.
One thing Arsenal to do it seems have done: don't concede a bloody set piece, especially a corner, guys. Yeah, try to avoid conceding a corner as best you can, so you're not grappling then.
Or you watch,
Any kind
or
of
it'd be
sight
the opposite.
contact, man.
It'd be the opposite way. When we've got a corner and say Gabs is having a scrubbing match with that Van Wanker, whatever his name is, Bright, he's a knob. Yeah. You watch them to have a little, and the ref will give a free kick to him every time.
Yeah.
Self-consciously, the seed's been planted.
Yeah, listen, it's as I say, it's everything, and it's it's to weigh in on it because the main thing is to for Arsenal to not win the league, and that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to put the pressure from the outside, and as fans, we can't allow that to
Got to do
happen
our job,
to the
Wayne.
team.
Got to do our job.
Do our
Don't
job as a
do the rest.
football club, but as fans as well, we can't get onto the players.
You know what I would say, and I'll touch wood when I say this. Our discipline this season's been pretty good.
We have been phenomenal, mate. That's the one thing. That's the one thing. But according to other people, when in the media and stuff and whatever, that we're getting away with murder. But it's
Sharice put the optics. If we win the league, they want a flashy name, and I'm sorry, Gordon is not that flashy name. Yeah. We can't find both Tenali and Gordon from Newcastle. Get ready for Bako. No, mate. Honestly,
I would if Tenali was an option, Tone, and obviously. I just think the money wise, you can kind of look at it. Yeah, I mean, for me, it'll be on the list with the Walton, with the Anderson for players that I want on top. It should be on.
I'd rather Anderson. I think if Forest go down, I think Anderson's there to be grabbed, and I think you're going to find that a lot of clubs will be in for Anderson.
Yeah. Listen, he's a phenomenal player. Can play well with Rice. I think he'll also do well playing with Zubimendi. But this team is crying out. And we also, as well, in my opinion, if you're not going to put MLS as midfield, there is another guy, and we've been after Buadi, young lad. I think Leon. Wow. We've been looking at him as well, and I think that's what this club also needs to kind of look to the future as well. And so that's also another thing, Tone. But watch this space in the summer. It's going to be vitally important. But right now, we're still in the mix with four trophies to win, Tone. We just got to keep our fingers crossed.
Yeah. Charles has put, truth be said, I am scared since we have 0 red cards this season. I fear an incoming jeopardy, but somewhere in these 9 finals. Yeah.
They're just looking for any excuse, Charles. It's legitimate, your worry, mate. Oh, I know what you're saying. It's this lumping in there. The media properly on it now. It's just in all kind of angles.
When Gabs, I think there was a moment in the Chelsea game, I think he was on a yellow card, and I think he was it was going like a 50-50. I think it was Renzo. And I think he pulled out. And I was like, I think if he would have gone into that, the ref would have literally just found an excuse to send him off. So
listen, I think you know what this is, Charles, and yourself as well, Tone. But because Charles said about the fouls and stuff and what you brought up, I think it's really hurt the club as well. And Mikel is what I mean in this kind of terms of what happened. The silly cards we were getting last year. The sending offs, the Rice sending off, the where William Saliba, where it got overturned at Bournemouth when he was yellow, and you had what's his name, old bald-headed twat, the head of PGMO there for some reason, and he's on the phone, and then it gets overturned to a red card. Silly decision. Trossard away to Man City, kicking the ball away. People kicking the ball away and not getting yellow cards, but Arsenal were.
That made me laugh by that way. The week after Liverpool. The kick, he smashed it off down the touchline. Get the ball away, didn't get booked.
No, this is what I'm saying, Tone, and this is why it's. And I've said as well, and I've said on this stream, and I will reiterate that. My point being is we have to be the better. Spit me words out. We have to be better than crappy refereeing decisions. We have to win the game by our own merits, as opposed to going, the referees don't give the ref that opportunity to then ruin the game. Because let's make sure the game is in our hands before he does that.
Yeah.
Beat the team in front of you. Don't beat, because you can't beat the ref. The refs, they're dodgy as arse anyway. But you have to beat the team in front of you is what I'm trying to say. And that's what we have to do, mate.
Yeah, okay, for some of these comments.
Win the game first before they get a chance to do any dodgy decisions, mate.
I'll read these comments out. But guys, smash the like button.
Please. Does help the channel grow afterwards. After you finish, he works hard. He works hard on the graphics. He's had quite a busy time. He's been holding fort on his own. So smash a like for him, minimum.
Smash a like for the Henri of the channel.
Yeah, he's the Henri, but don't forget, Henri was nothing without Bergkamp.
Well, Charles, I don't know why you said that, mate. He's the Wiltord. He's the Wiltord of the channel.
To be fair, my on skills,
Comes in and does a job.
my on field football skills are of Francis Jeffers tone, but I'm going to
Yes.
take a Bergkamp. I might even take a Wiltor, to be fair.
Nice. Should we put the amount of scrutiny we are under? These players need to use this as motivation to get this title over the line. I'd completely
So
agree.
I hope everything that's said about this football club. You know that Amazon documentary, and he brought it up about Ivan Toney. I hope that's what they're doing and go. This is what they're saying. This we can't, just put it up for motivation, if anything.
Yeah, I mean, Arteta's team talks must be super easy because all you got to do is get a screen up and go, look what people are saying about it. Go out there and prove them wrong.
Listen, Emmanuel Petit's been quite negative about the football club, but he went on to Sky Sports saying they're all digging us out, sort of thing.
Yeah,
everyone doesn't want it, so at least he's that. He has pissed me off in the past.
I see a gif where he was doing it, but he got cut off when he was going.
Yeah.
He was going full on.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they cut him off, and then the guy as well denied it. But Sky Sports chief, ESPN as well. If there's going to be channels, I'm going to tell you guys to ignore and just you have to watch Sky Sports because that's where the football's on. If it was funny, good thing as well, guys. He's on TNT tomorrow, and as much as me and Tony can't listen to the commentary while we're doing our watch along, anyone that is, you can. Tony will be doing it. So I mean, I can't. I've got noise cancelling headphones, and then I won't be able to talk like I won't be. I need to listen to me, make sure I'm not talking. I do waffle anyway, but yeah, we're on TNT, and that's a welcome addition for me, Tony, and welcome change because you have to watch Sky Sports because that's where the football's on. But if you're an Arsenal fan, avoid Sky Sports, avoid ESPN, and basically just avoid Twitter as much as you can. Just don't read it, scroll past it. There's all kind of stuff, and it's all to against the fan base and everything. It's us against them, and it is what it is. It's in our history for people to hate us and just embrace it, Tone. So I can keep saying. And the players have to as well. It's all right for us Arsenal fans on these channels to do it. These small channels trying to grow, but those players in that dressing room can't let any outside noise get to them whatsoever.
Yeah, Sharice put, I see Arsenal as a family and family members, fans are allowed to critique the club. Outsiders, these Sky pundits, TalkSport, I will defend our club, stay in your lanes. Yeah, honestly,
mate. TalkSport is chief in it, mate, as well. They're another one to add to the list. Hello, mate. Hey, nice to see you, Ted.
Welcome back, buddy. Welcome back.
My friend.
Every match is hell at the minute. Lovely day in the pub on Sunday, and the Arsenal match stressed me the fuck out and borderline ruined it. Yeah, well, you're lucky to the pub, mate. You could have had a few drinks to calm your nerves, but yeah.
Listen, mate. I because I'm kind of getting over this. I'm getting over this sickness and stomach bug. Drinking the beer is kind of not really going down too well for me. But on Sunday, I really could have used it.
I could have.
My heart fell out of my chest, quite literally, guys. And I'm asthmatic. That's not good. I need my heart to stay in there. I can't have this club is aging me. And
mate, my blood pressure's going through the roof for this club on Sunday. It was 2-1, but my God, that honestly, the last 6 minutes of that game, it was hell. It was hell. But look, whoever joined that, thank you for joining because we got through it together, guys. We got through it together, and there's 9 more cup finals ahead. Ted was avoid TalkSport as well. I'll get rage bait on a daily. Oh, mate, I got rage.
Don't listen to you. Got to shut TalkSport out, Tone. I really don't know why you're listening to it. I shut them out years ago.
Do you know what it is? I'm a bit naughty because I cycle into work and I have one headphone in and I put TalkSport on the YouTube because I do like listening to Cundy winding up Jamie O'Hara, and it was funny this week because Jamie O'Hara was like, "Oh, I'd have no hope for my club. I have no hope." It's actually good to watch because he literally cannot wait to stick it to Arsenal. Cundy was he was quite clever because obviously Chelsea weren't great, but he was still pushing the top of the narrative on O'Hara, and it's quite funny to listen to them. When Arsenal lose though, I fucking hate listening to all of them because it's literally they're a bunch of clowns, a lot of them, and they literally cannot wait. That bottle tag coming in when we lost, or we didn't lose the Wolves, but it felt like a loss. That last minute goal, honestly. Bottle job. It was like we drew the game. We didn't lose it. If we'd have lost it, I get it. But they literally all the pundits, all of our rivals, they cannot wait for us to to drop the title.
Of course
They
it
can't
is.
wait for it.
It's as they say, and it suits their narrative, and it's Arsenal back in their place. They don't. Arsenal are not in. We're not in our place, shall we say, guys? We're not the banter club. You know what I mean? We're not.
Yeah.
And that's what people hate. You know what I mean? Like the Man United. Man United. Look what's going to happen, right? Michael Carrick will do enough to get him a spot, right? And then they'll back him in the summer, and then he'll start next season, do shit, and then they'll have to get another manager. So they're a club that right now are flying high because an ex-player, sorry, is coming in. Michael Carrick, I can't have it that if he can't make it at Middlesbrough, how the hell, he's at Man United currently.
I
They've
mean,
got
that
a top
bubble
heavy.
will burst, mate. That bubble will burst
That
soon.
bubble will, when that bubble bursts, it will be
He's
funny.
not
But
been
these
put
guys
under
are
the
lumping
pressure.
in.
He's not been put under pressure of going on a losing streak and how do you recover that.
He's
Right?
gone in there with
So,
nothing to lose. But that's another one as well with United. They'll lump in. You got Chelsea fans lumping in, City fans, and everyone wants City to win. Adrian Durham wants City to win. Wants 130 charges that have not been done, but they historic charges. They want them to win the top prize in English football. Now that is just an absolute disgrace, in my opinion. You can hate
yeah.
Arsenal with a passion, right? But you do not want Arsenal to win the league, but you want them. You want the Lance Armstrong of football to lift the trophy. That's what you want.
Yeah.
Seriously, what you should be worrying, what they should be moaning at, and it shouldn't be us, it should be Aston Villa. Because right now, if Man City were kicked out or they had their points deduction, the team closest to us is Aston Villa, and we're 10 points clear of them. Right? Take Man City out of the equation. So everyone is pinning their hopes on a team that have cheated their way to the top, and it's been proven. There's emails out there, there's everything out there, but they have to win it because Arsenal we hate Arsenal, blah blah blah. This is what you're dealing with, Tone. Do you know what I mean? This is what football and this football in this country has become. You can hate Arsenal with a passion, but they are willing a team that have cheated to beat us to the title. That's how
Yeah.
bad it has come. That the question shouldn't be on us as bottlers, shouldn't be on us and being the worst team. Aston Villa were the closest, they're rubbish. Liverpool haven't defended the title. Man United have been shit. Chelsea has spent 2 billion over what they've got how many times, and they can't challenge at the top. So but everyone's lumping in on Arsenal. Well, lump in on the other teams that have made it apparently the shittest Premier League in the because we've got cheaters chasing us down. Fucking cheaters. And everyone wants them to win because they're the closest team to Arsenal. That's how bad the Premier League has
Yeah.
become. But Arsenal were the ones that are making it worse. Go and have a chat with them. Go and have a chat with the teams. Go and have look what I've just said, Tom. But yeah, we're back. People hate us. We'll deal with it, Tom. Happy days. Now,
Mate, if there was sand in the comments, mate, I think you get a round of applause for that. Round of applause for your.
Thanks, Tom.
For your
Listen,
words
Thierry
there,
Henry,
mate.
can you give me a clap, Thierry Henry? Come on. I know, but sorry, but it's just a good point. That's just it's one of those things that I don't want to beat around the bush, time, but you can hate Arsenal with a passion. I get it 100%. I just don't get how you can back cheaters. So.
There you go, mate. There's your applause.
Thank you, son. I'll tell you what, because you normally do it, mate. We'll start to wrap things up because I've had a say and I've
No, wait.
bored
Let me
a lot
I'll
of
get
people.
through these comments, dude, and we'll
go on, mate. And then you gave your prediction first, mate.
So,
Go on, go
Sharice put best believe Saka and Zubi are pissing me off, but in front of rivals, best right winger and 6 in the world. I don't. I'll do the same. I'll do it. Yeah. Charles put the day Martin Kieran White's articles, all Gary Neville, all Carragher articles will be replied with his articles. He is number one person flying a red flag high in the media. Yeah, he is. That's what
I loved him on the pitch, Charles. I loved him on the pitch, and I love him when he's defending the Arsenal. Martin Keown's just Arsenal through and through. He's a legend in my eyes. I love him. I love the geezer.
Same with Ray Parlour. Ray Parlour literally.
Ray Parlour as well. Ian Wright. These guys are still fighting. They're fighting the cause.
Ian Wright goes absolutely nuts. He watches it with Alan Shearer. I've seen clips where he nuts and screaming in Alan Shearer's face when we score.
Only one thing I will say about Wrighty, I think when Gyökeres was struggling, he said he's not too sure. But I think Wrighty, you've been there in Gyökeres' position. He does. The only thing I would say, my criticism would be that you're listening to narrative when obviously people are lumping in on Gyökeres, obviously, but other than that, he still loves the club. But yeah, they're legends, mate, and we need them kind of people still, Tone.
Yeah, no, definitely
keep us Gooners sane.
Yeah. Shrewsbury, I have something to admit. Even if we win the league, lowest of keys, I lost some respect for our players after the Wolves game. That game is equal to Baku and Burnham League Cup final. Wow.
No, I get that. I mean, it was a painful one.
I mean,
It was a
I was
painful
having
one. I get
meltdowns, so I
what you're
can't really.
saying.
I do get it. It hurt a lot. It hurt a lot.
It hurt. It did. It hurt. It hurt. As I say, me and Tony
I
were
think,
online. It hurt.
I think it was the fact that we was 2-0 up cruising, and then we just threw it away. And then I was just put well said, Wayne. So true. Yeah.
Thank you, Charles. Appreciate it, matey.
Cool. Prediction, Wayne.
Go on. Okay, I'll do it. I was going to offer it to you, but
I'll go first. I'll go first.
Go on, Sam. Go for it. You do. Go on.
I'm going to go 1-0 Arsenal.
I want to go above. I want to go above that, Tone, and I'm thinking I want to go for a 3-0. I want to go for a statement 3-0. I think there's some players in this team that need to step up, and like I said in previous, it's the attackers. Big job tomorrow, Tone. David Raya. People can say about his height, but he's been world class for us last couple of games. So we can't rely on him, Tone. I'm hoping for a 3-0. I want this football club to actually turn up, ignore the noise, get a set piece goal, and add a couple of goals for good measure. A goal for Gyökeres would do for me as well, mate. 3-0.
3-0. Nice. All right, well, guys, let us know what your predictions are in the chat. As always, thank you all for tuning in. Our regulars have been on today in full swing. Tomorrow there will be a watch along, so join us for that watch along. I'll quickly read this out, then we'll close it down, Wayne. I mean, in terms of deflation, it was equal to Baku 2-1 Arsenal because we can't pull the ball in the back of the net to kill games. We can't. This is
the problem.
Charles has gone 3-0 on midweek match. It's hard to see that, Wayne. Would love that, but I'm happy with Tony 1-0. Yeah, I could see it being a tight game out. We look quite lethargic against Chelsea.
Yeah, it's up to the boss. It's up to the boss, mate. But at the end of the day, a win is a win. Sometimes it would just be nice if this, the handbrake is released and we go for the throat when we haven't
had a team this season yet, have we? We haven't had that 5-0, 6-0 win. I know Spurs was 4-1, but we haven't had that comfortable win.
Listen, Man City on paper are the hardest team we're going to play in the next 9 games. So, but what it is no. As I said prior, no team is at easy time. But yeah, and a 2-3-0 for me will be a minimum. Keep that clean sheet. We need to keep a clean sheet now. We've been letting too many soppy goals in for my liking. We got the best sort of like back three, if you like, in Saliba, Gabby, and Raya in the league. We have to keep a clean sheet tomorrow, mate. Put a statement down.
Cool. On that note, we'll call it there. Guys, smash the like button. If you're new around here, hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you tomorrow on the watch along. Have a good evening, guys. Take care.
Thanks for joining. All the best. See you tomorrow.